GM everyone. Welcome to our workshop today, built with SocialConnect. We will have Viral, one of our DevRel engineers, here with us today, and he will introduce SocialConnect to you and how to build with SocialConnect and improve the user experience in your web app, in your decentralized app. And let's get started. I will just quickly give an overview about the hackathon. This workshop is part of the workshop week for Build with Celo, transform e-commerce experiences. Then we will just touch on what is Celo, what is MiniPay. You can watch the recording from yesterday to drive fully in case you're very new to Celo and MiniPay. And then we will get right to the demo of SocialConnect. Hi, Peter. Great to have you here. So let's get started. First of all, at Celo, we build with purpose and we build for billions. And our aim is to unlock the digital economy for billions of people worldwide with Celo. And we want you to build for Celo and build for 360K daily active users. If you're new to Web3, 360K daily active users, it's a lot. It's almost as much as Ethereum has. So very exciting news. It's already since more than two weeks. So for everybody who is planning to become a founder, this is a great ecosystem for your project. And as I said, this workshop is part of our workshop week for Build with Celo, transform e-commerce experiences. Please, if you're interested, sign up for the hackathon and check out the hackathon platform for ideas. You can build around online shops, but you also can just build out features for customer success, or customer incentives or operations like billings and so on. This is the overview, and the hackathon will start and kick off on Friday and run till the 2nd of June. So it's 17 days of hacking. Sign up, scan the QR code to sign up. Let me also share the link with you. Let's do this. And the prizes are, we have a prize pool of 10K. The biggest amount of prizes will go to building on MiniPay, and then we have 2 special prizes, one for using Ola's AI agent, who everybody who joined the last Build with Celo hackathon will already know how to what Ola's AI agents are, and we will also have a workshop on that next week. And then we have one special prize for building with SocialConnect, which you're going to learn more about today. Hi Denzel. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. And then this time we also have added developer quests. So we will have quests for this week for you to get ready, for you to join all the workshops, and then we will also have quests during the hackathon. So it's a way to collect some extra prize money for all of you. So check it out, sign up for the hackathon to learn more about the quests. And this is our schedule. We are right now on the 15th of May with our SocialConnect workshop. You can see the hackathon kickoff is on Friday, and we have, as last time, milestone check-ins where we check in with you weekly to make sure that you stay on track. These are also office hours for you to come with all your questions. And then the submissions will be on the 2nd of June and winners announcement on the 7th of June. Why you should build on Celo? Celo is a layer 1, moving to becoming a layer 2. So moving into the Ethereum ecosystem. We are mobile first. We have a lot of great features like that you can pay your gas fees in stablecoins, not only in the native currency. We are refi focused chain, and our gas fees are very, very low with 0.001 USD per transaction. So please, as I said, watch the video, the workshop from yesterday to go dive more deeper if you are new to Celo and want to learn more about what that means. Why should you build for MiniPay? Let's first talk about what is MiniPay. MiniPay is a stablecoin wallet that is implemented into the Opera Mini browser. It's very lightweight with just like 2 megabytes. And hi everyone, great having you join. It has a huge distribution in Africa. Currently, it's already live in Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana, with a lot more countries following. It's stablecoin based, so it currently has CUSD, which is a stablecoin pegged to the dollar. More following, more coming soon. So why should you pay for MiniPay? First of all, MiniPay is a wallet that is focused on Web2 users. It has a very seamless user onboarding. As I said, it has stablecoin, but also you can choose to just see your tokens in your local currency, like the amount of tokens you're holding. So it's very focused on Web2 users, and also you can log in with your email address and phone number, so the wallet address is abstracted away, and you would pay the gas fees in stablecoins. Also, very, very important for founders and everybody who is interested in building apps that will actually be used. Opera Mini has a user base of more than 80 million people, and which will kind of reduce your customer acquisition costs by a lot, because Opera Mini, MiniPay already has 2 million users, more than 2 million users, which is very exciting. It's one of the fastest growing wallets in the space. But yeah, I don't want to hold you off from learning more about SocialConnect. So without further ado, I will invite Viral to the stage. Hi, Viral. So great to have you here today and showing everybody how to build with SocialConnect. As I said, MiniPay is already focused on a great user experience with just having to sign in with your email address and sending money to phone numbers. But if you want to build applications, of course, it makes sense to add this feature also into your application. So thank you so much for being here and showing all the builders today how that will work. Let me take this away and add your screen to the stage. Vera, maybe you want to introduce yourself very quickly. Welcome today. I think you're muted. Wait, let me unmute you.
Wait, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Welcome.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Lena, for the introduction. I'm Vival. I work at Celo as a developer relations engineer. I've been in Celo for almost 2 years now. And yeah, I'm really excited to share what SocialConnect is and how can you implement it in your project.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The stage is yours. Get started.
Thank you so much. So SocialConnect. SocialConnect is a plug makes delightful cross-wallet transfers. If you see in normally Web2, if you want to send someone a token, you have to paste in the address and the token amount. But with SocialConnect, what you can achieve is something like this, where you just paste in their phone number. Doesn't has to be a phone number. It can be an email address, or it can be a social handle, like your Twitter handle, your GitHub handle, Discord username, anything. So just add that username, the amount, and you can send the token. The good thing about SocialConnect is it's privacy first. So everything that happens on chain is obfuscated and encoded, so no one else other than the issuer can see it. And we'll go deep dive into it. But this is a high level view of what SocialConnect is. It do an attestation of your address with a social identity. So you don't have to remember an address, and you can make your user experience of the app more smoother by not showing the user address, but the social handles. So you can go to this website, socialconnect.xyz, to get a really high level view of how it works. I'll show you a 30 seconds video on how this can be used as an example. So all you have to do is just paste in your phone number. It will verify it. And this is not what SocialConnect provides. This is a user experience that anyone can implement their own. SocialConnect only provides a set of SDKs and smart contracts. But yeah, once you have attestation, all you have to do is just select the phone number, send in the tokens, and it will send the tokens. You don't have to necessarily remember the address and send. So this is basically how SocialConnect works, and this is how SocialConnect internally works. But I have a better yes.
Viral, can I ask you? Can you zoom in just a little bit? I think it's very perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. So this is a SocialConnect website. You can go and check it out. But instead of going through this diagram, I have created a simple one. So let's go there. This is a high-level view of how SocialConnect can work, and you can implement it in your website. So think of this front end as a React app or any kind of mobile application. So the first thing you want to do is you want to choose your identifier and attestation. It could be a phone number, email address, GitHub, Twitter, anything. Make sure that it has to be verifiable. So in case of email address, like if you decide that you want to attach your a user address with an email address, you need to verify that the user is actually the owner of an email. So it could be like by sending an OTP to an email address with the phone number as well. If someone user says that this is my phone number, you should ideally send an OTP and make sure that the user is the owner. In case of social identifiers, it's fairly simple. Like we can do OAuth, where user just click on sign in with GitHub or sign in with Twitter. They redirect to that website, do the login, come back, and we have a tokens. It's called OAuth tokens. So you will get the tokens in your front end. So that's the first step. Like you ask your user to log in with their social identifiers, you get an OAuth tokens. And the second step would be front end makes an API called a backend. So this, in order to implement SocialConnect, the ideal way is you should have a backend, because if you do everything on front end, you will be exposing some of the private keys that you require. So I highly suggest that you have a backend. So once this part is done, where you have an auth tokens, you take that auth token, you get the user's address, you send it to the backend. Now it's backend's job to do the verification. You remember, as I said, like whatever attestation you do, you has to verify it. So in backend, we take that token and ask GitHub or Twitter, like, is this a legit token? And once you get an okay from the third party social handles, you know that the token and the user address are the person is actually the owner. Now you send that token, and there are two ways you can do. So SocialConnect has their own servers, and SocialConnect also has a blockchain. So what you need to do is, all you need is just the user address and the usernames. So let's say my username is XYZ on GitHub. So now I have a user address and the username. What I do is I connect with the SocialConnect servers using SocialConnect SDKs. So we have a set of SDKs on NPM. So you can use those SDKs. You can send in the address and the identifier. So identifier here would be your email address, your phone number, everything. You send it, and you have to pay a small CUSD gas fees. It will be really small, like 1/10 of a cent. You have to pay this in order to like block the spamming. So we have added a fees architecture. So you send in your address, your identifier, and what you get in return is this obfuscated ID. So this is the ID that is a mapping of your address and an identifier. So now all you have to do is just take this ID. You have to create a private key that will be an issuer that issues this address with that identifier. Take that obfuscated ID, and you can just go to the blockchain. You have to interact with this smart contract, and you can do registration, revoke, or lookups. This is a high level view. I know it's complicated, but we'll see how we can implement in code really easy. So what you have to do is we'll start with a template, because SocialConnect does comes with a little bit of boilerplate code. So we have created a template that has all the like boilerplate code ready for you. So you don't have to like copy and paste all the code. But if you are interested, you can go to this documentation on SocialConnect website, and the whole README is basically the code snippets that you can copy paste in your project. But I would recommend that if you're starting for the first time, This can be a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of obfuscated and like encryption and encoding part is happening here. So I would suggest user templates. So you can do is you can run this command, SocialConnect. I'll paste this command in the chat. So this command will basically allow you to create a, no, I missed the T, sorry. Yeah. So this project will allow you to kickstart your SocialConnect project. So if I hit enter, basically, by the way, this template internally uses Celo Composer. Celo Composer is like all-in-one starter kit for all your Web3 needs. So do check it out. Let's give a project name. So it would be Celo SocialConnect Workshop V1. And there you go. So I recommend just go through this steps. It says that first you need to rename the env file, fill in the env file, and then go into this folder and then do yarn install and yarn dev. So let's open this project in VS Code. I don't like the number, so I'll just do an initial commit. Okay. So all you have to, so all our main, so this is a mono repo. So that's all our code is inside package/react. And if you go to package.json, you can see all the dependencies here. And if you go to env.template, we have a lot of things to add here, but let's do it. I'll first rename the template. So first thing you need is a Wallet Connect ID. So let's go to Wallet Connect. By the way, Wallet Connect is a tool that allows you to connect multiple projects. Yep, I have to log in. Okay, all you have to do. So by the way, the prerequisite for this is just MetaMask and GitHub account. That's all. Like you don't need anything else. Just GitHub and a MetaMask account is good to go. So once you log into your Wallet Connect ID account, you can just create a new project. I have already created one. It's called SCV1. And the moment you create a project, you get a project ID. So let's copy the ID and paste it here. So the ID part is done. We need to get a next auth. So by the way, this project uses next auth. Remember in this graph, this part where we connect with GitHub or Twitter, get the auth tokens. This will be really difficult if we implement it on our own. So since I'm using Next.js, I used a package called next auth, which make it so simple that you just have to write like literally 10 lines of code and it will do everything for you. So this template uses next auth package. So in order to get this value, you have to go to this link. Let's go. And in order to create the secret, all you have to do is just run this command in your terminal. Do remember that this command, I think, will only run in Linux and Mac OS. I don't think so it will work on Windows. But yeah, so I've added the secret. Now all you have to do is just get auth IDs for GitHub. Because in this example, we'll log in with GitHub. So you have to go to this link. And once you go into this link, go to OAuth application and you can create a new auth. But I have already created few, so I'll use one of those. So the moment you create a project, you get a client ID. You can paste the ID here. And you also need a secret. So secret is one-time read-only thing. So I've already tried this a couple of times, but I'll create a new client example. The moment you create a new secret, make sure to take a note of this because the moment you refresh the page, it will be gone. So I've taken secret as well. Now you need a issue a private key and a DEK keys. So if you want to learn more, because this is a big concept, in-depth concept. So what you can do is go to the SocialConnect documentation and you can read more about what the keys are and how does that work on this page. You can see the docs. There is a lot of docs like how you can set up the keys and everything. So it's a long it's a long process, but what I have done is I have created a sample project that will automate everything for you. So you can just go to this project on GitHub. You can clone it. Let's clone it somewhere. Since it's doing, let's also install all the packages because it will take time. So what I have to do is go into this folder. So I do cd packages and React. And once you are in this particular folder, you can do yarn install. Now it will install all the packages. In the meantime, we have cloned it. The project name is called Celo DEK Generations. It will just create a couple of projects, a couple of private keys and public keys for you. So we'll go into that project, open VS Code here. Okay. So all you have to do is, again, if you see there is an env example, so let's just rename this. And again, we need a wallet connect ID. So let's copy the same ID here. Now we're good to go. We'll have to run yarn install in this project as well. So what this project will do is will create these two values for you. Issuer private key and a DEK private keys. Okay. Let's give it a moment. Yeah, there we go. So now all you have to do is to yarn dev, and it will start a project at the port 3000. So let's go to localhost 3000. So do remember, this is the DEK generation project, not the actual SocialConnect project.
Can you
Yes,
zoom in again?
Yep.
I think for every page that you visit, it's like very. Thank you.
Got it. Thanks for the reminder. So yeah, this is the DEK generation project. And once you run it locally, all you need to do is just hit generate keys. It will create two sets of project. One is the issuer and the other is a DEK. Again, like if you want to learn what DEK is and what issuer is, go to the SocialConnect documentation and read through this talks. But for now, all you need to know is that the next step is, before going, you need to add some testnet Celo to the address mentioned above. So this is the address. Just copy the address, click on Celo testnet faucet, paste in the address, but make sure that you untick the Celo only checkbox and then click on faucet. And if you log in with GitHub, then you'll get a larger amount of tokens. But yeah, for the example, this is more than enough. So let's verify that we actually indeed got the tokens. So go to celoscan.io. And this is the mainnet Celoscan, but if you click on this icon and go to testnet, you can see the URL is alphahorace.celoscan. Let's zoom in. And this is the address that we created here. This is the address of the issuer, by the way. So the issuer is the one that is responsible for do the connection or kind of an attestation between the identifier that will be your username and your address. So make sure you keep the private keys and everything at a secure place. That's why it says that this is for test purpose only. Don't use these keys in production. But yeah, if you see, I have 0.5 tokens of each. And the thing to note here is you do need CUSD tokens, because on Celo, a unique feature is you can pay the gas fees using stable tokens. Like, you don't need to have Celo tokens. You can use stable, and SocialConnect internally uses CUSD for gas fees. So if your account, your issuer does not have CUSD token, then it won't work and you'll get so many errors. So this is kind of a debugging example or troubleshoot for you. Like, make sure your issuer address, account, this one address have CUSD in the wallet. So you can go to alpha or this scan and then paste in your address and make sure you have CUSD tokens. So once you have top up some Celo tokens on CUSD, these tokens are not needed at all. But all you need is Celo tokens for paying a little bit of gas fees, and CUSD for all kind of social connect activity you do on chain. If you remember in this, the moment you send the address and the identifier to the server, it will cost you some CUSD. So you need to have CUSD token in your wallet. Now that's done. If you remember in this project, we require an issuer private key and a DEK key. So this is the issuer private key. We copy it here, paste, and we have DEK private key. Let's copy this and paste it here, save it. And I think we are good to go. All we need to do is just run yarn dev, but before that, let's close this project. That's the DEK generation. We'll close it. And yeah, run yarn dev. And there we go. So again, go to localhost 3000. It'll take some time.
Maybe
Yeah.
You're already ready. Okay, good. I don't drop in. Then I keep it.
So this is the SocialConnect project that we just completed. The big task was to complete the EME file because it does require a lot of things in order to maintain the security. But once you have done it, all you have to do is just connect your wallet. Let's use MetaMask. Cool. So it will check that you either have to be on Celo testnet or mainnet. You have your account address. Now it says click on SocialConnect to get started. Let's click on SocialConnect. Now you see it says that you are not registered and it's giving me a button to sign in with GitHub. So this is the first part where your front end goes to the GitHub. So oh, my bad. Separate. Okay. So you click on GitHub and it will redirect you to a page for GitHub. So click on sign in with GitHub. And I already have logged in once, so it doesn't ask me to authorize again. But in your case, it will redirect to GitHub and it will ask you to authorize the access. So just press OK. And once you have done it, it shows that you have signed in and it's giving me a button to sign out. And right now it's checking if I'm already attested or not. So it's checking that my GitHub username and this username, so sorry, this address, is it already a test or not? So it's checking it in the background and let's see. Oops, there is some issue. Let's retry. Let me check if the issuer has some balance or not. I think. Okay, let's try again. There's an auth error. I think we missed a step. Let's create and quickly create the new keys and try again. I've again started the DEK part again, and let's go to localhost 2001. Create a new keys, go to faucet, top of the address. Time. Okay, so it's done. Go to SocialScan and just verify if the new issuer that we created does indeed receive the CUSD token. That's done. This is the older one. Ideally, we should be seeing some transactions here.
Can you zoom in more? Sorry. Thank you.
Is this okay?
Yes, that works well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So once we have top up some seller tokens, the DEK key is registered. Let's replace the issuer keys again and the DEK keys. Once done, let's refresh. Okay, go to localhost 3000 and try again. Yep, I think it should work now. Yep, it should work now. So it takes some time because it runs on Google Cloud, but now once you log in and everything, the steps that I recommended here, you've done it perfectly. I think in the last time we missed something, but the moment you click on the Social Connect after logging in, what it shows is your username is not registered with Social Connect. Like my GitHub username and my address is not registered, so there is no attestation. So if someone tries Vival Sangani, they cannot get my address. So what we have to do is just click on register username. And internally, it will do bunch of calls to smart contract, but does calls to Social Connect servers and do all this thing that we have seen here. So you'll go to Social Connect server, pay some CUSD gas fees from my account, get an ID, and then take that ID and use the Social Connect private key, go to this smart contract and do the attestation. So everything is happening in the background, and there you go. You are registered using Social Connect, and this is the username, the address, and shit, I hit refresh by mistake. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. It's giving me an revoke username button, but let's check if it's actually done or not. So in order to check, all you have to do is just copy your address. Now go to, so you need the address of this smart contract, right? Federated attestation.sol. So in order to get the address of this smart contract, go to docs.celo.org, go to developers, and in the addresses, you can see the addresses of all the tokens on each network, and you can see the core contracts that Celo has maintained and deployed. So these are the mainnet ones, but if you go down on testnet, you can see federated attestation. Before Lena says, let me zoom in. And we have federated attestation address here. So you can go to Celo scan again, alphaharvest.celoscan, paste in the address. And this, by the way, is the address of the smart contract. So you will get a button called contracts. Go to the contract, and you can see that it is actually a federated attestation address. You can go to read as proxy, and let's wait. Yep. So in order to verify that my address is indeed did an attestation with this as an issuer, what you have to do is just copy the issuer address. Where is it? Yeah. So there's this function in this smart contract called address to identifier, where you have to paste in the my address, like the user's address. The second one is the issuer address. We'll copy my address from here. And here, so one issuer can do multiple attestation, but this is my first attestation, so I'll just put in 0. And if I query, I should be getting a result. This is the identifier that will make sure did the attestation. So basically, I can verify that my address was indeed attested using this issuer. So each issuer can do multiple attestation, and there could be multiple issuers. So yeah, that's I think all. Yeah, this is how we did an attestation. And if you want to revoke, like let's say that you no longer want to attach this username with this address, you can just call a revoke function. Again, this revoke function is a part of federated attestation contract. So we go to federated, go to write as proxy, and you can see there's revoke, there's renounce, there's register. Everything that we are calling internally is being done here. So once this is completed, yeah, you can see I'm no longer at a state. So if I call this function again, I should get an error that says you are not at a state. So that's a really high level view. Let's quickly go to the code. There's only one page, that's the home page, and everything is happening in the header. So we have a component header. I think you can see the code, right, Lena? Do I zoom in? Okay. So, yeah, let's just go to the main functions. So in the UI side, I have this folder called SocialConnect, which has a hook, use SocialConnect. And this hook will basically do all the calls to the backend. And yeah, so this is first function. The moment you reload, it will call the lookup function, and it will make an API call to the backend. So in the same Next.js project, we have some APIs. So it will check lookup. It will send in two things: your handler, that will be your username, and your handler type, and it will make the call to the backend. And in backend, we have this lookup function here. So lookup function will internally use Celo identity and SocialConnect packages to like first create an issuer and then get the issuer address and then actually call the lookup function to get the address of that particular account. So if you see here in this call, we are only sending the identifier. We are not sending the user address. But here we get the user address in the response and we send it back. So in the UI, when you see this address, there was an address here, right? Just give me a minute. Yeah, this address is actually coming from the smart contract. So yeah, when we send just the username and the type of username, that will be GitHub here, it will send us an address. Then we have a register function where we send in the account address, the username, and the type, that will be GitHub. It will do the registration. And we have a revoke function where again you send in the address, the identifier, and the type, and it will revoke that thing. And on the SocialConnect side, again, we have the same thing, lookup, register to do the registration. There's a function called register on-chain identifier, and there's a function called deregister on-chain identifier. I think it should be revoke, but yeah. So this is a very high level view. Like I do recommend use this template because template has really good comments, so you can understand everything really easily. And we have some helper functions here. Like helper function basically contains all the addresses for different environments. So you don't have to manually go and get all the addresses. That's why I recommend using template, because it will be really difficult for you to get the addresses and then create a mapping and everything. So we have done it in the template. And yeah, that's all. Any questions, Lena?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much. I think there was a proper walkthrough. I think it was a lot, so I'm looking forward to rewatching that step by step. But thank you so much. And I think I have some questions. I already wrote down some questions. We also have a question from the audience for an idea, but I think I would like to start with my first question, because you had a command from this data encryption key repository, the DEK, where you said it only works in Linux and Mac. Can we share an alternative? I know many of our developers have a Windows laptop. If they would like to, I think it's just a command where you have to Google how to do this command in Windows. But maybe we can just add that to that repository,
it's
or
easy to,
I can share that also.
You need to get an alternative to that tool. It's a tool called OpenSSL, and it's by default installed in all the Linux. So what you can do is you can use WSL in Windows, so Windows subsystem for Linux, or you can find an alternative to this on Windows. To be honest, I don't have an answer for that right now. What's the alternative?
Okay, cool. That's not a problem. We will just share that in the hackathon docs, like a little tutorial, just like a link to that for everybody who has a Windows, so you can check that probably to latest by the start of the hackathon. We will have that ready for you. The second question is, at one point you had like these keys, right? That you open up in this interface that is this other that is just
it is
for
a
setting up
separate
the
project.
whole that is just for setting up the project. I don't need to do that for every user that signs up, right? Like this is just
Correct.
what I do. And then when I store the user information, do I have to set up the database myself for my application?
No, so all the user data will be stored on chain.
Yeah. Okay, so like I don't have to, I only have to follow the tutorial that you did. I don't have to like set up anything outside of that. Then I think the next question, and also from the audience, the example that you did was with GitHub. Do you have, and I think that's also the SocialConnect template from when you install the Celo Composer. Do you have, like, could you explain the steps for the phone number or like Twitter, like something? Because like when people build for MiniPay right now, they will probably not use GitHub as a login, right? Because it targets daily active, like normal users that are not developers. So what would they have to change in the file for either the phone number or a Twitter account that they can actually that it makes sense? Of course, we can say just implement it with GitHub and we will teach you, but I think it would be great for like the prototypes that people build to actually have the real use case of like what they are doing, right?
So it's a total different thing if you want to do it with phone number. But if you want to do it with Twitter, the good thing is NextAuth, the package that we're using, it's really easy. Like all you have to do is just pass in your Twitter credentials, like the ID and the secret instead of GitHub, and replace some URLs for Twitter instead of GitHub, and it will do the same thing. But for the phone number, you cannot use NextAuth. In that case, you have to manage the verification part for you. Like if you have to take the phone number, you also use services like Twilio to send in an OTP to the user. The user confirms the OTP back to you using your website or your interface. You make sure that the phone number actually belongs to that user, and then only you can do the attestation. Like technically, you can do the attestation without verification, but in production, it is required to do the verification, like the sending an OTP part and everything. But for the hackathon, I do recommend like it's a paid service. For hackathon, you can skip the verification part and you can just directly take the phone number and do the attestation.
Can we provide the developers like with just like the easy steps, like with again like a small guide how to do that? Because right now it was very fast and I don't have the links to the tools that you mentioned. So
so we do have examples for everything that you just asked. It's in the repo. If you scroll down a bit, you see there is a section called examples. In this example, there is a phone number example. Yes.
That would be great. Thank you.
Let me share. Lina, you have to bring my screen up.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go to the SocialConnect, yes. If you go to the SocialConnect repository and if you scroll down a bit, you see we have a bunch of examples. So we have an example for phone number as well, using Next.js and using React Native. We have a bunch of Twitter examples and we have an extra template. So we have a bunch of examples. And if you find any issues, just ping us on Discord or anywhere. And yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I think that's a great resource for everyone. Yeah, just check out the example with
So
Twitter.
I would say,
and
yeah, this README is really helpful. So take your time. It will take around 1 or 2 hours to understand or go through everything, because there are like internally a lot of documentations inside to understand how it works inside internally. Like the one that I gave as a demo is really, really high level overview. But if you want to go deep dive, then yeah, the repository is the one place we want to go.
Okay, cool. So how, like, what do you feel, what kind of like experience level a developer should have? Like, do you feel somebody who's very new to Web3 would be able to do that? Or you would recommend like 6 months of experience? Or is that just like, I mean, of course, as always, we tell you, read the docs. Don't try to like solve, wherever you get stuck, go back to the docs. Don't try to solve something for 3 hours without having read all the docs, because that happened sometimes to some people in this call. So yeah, as Viral said, make sure to go through the documentation, spend time to really understand all the steps. Whenever you get stuck, maybe as Viral was doing it, just start from the beginning and make sure you follow all the steps and you haven't forgotten one, instead of like trying to fix something that you don't fully understand. But yeah, what would you say? What would you recommend somebody, like the experience level of somebody trying this?
So you will definitely need intermediate level experience, or at least you should know how to understand a JavaScript code, because there is a lot of JavaScript code even inside the template. So yeah, which I didn't go through. Like it will take a lot of time, but I do recommend like around intermediate level experience in JavaScript and beginner level experience in Web3 would be required. Yes.
Yeah. And again, here a reminder, if you're building for MiniPay, make sure that if you call any smart contract functions, that you use Veeam and WACME and not Ethers.js or Web3.js. Even if there's like kind of examples also in the SocialConnect, make sure you don't use that for building for MiniPay.
Lena, I see one question in the chat.
Yeah.
So someone is asking, can we access the Celo MiniPay phone number data in our MiniPay app? If not, can you suggest what methods we should use? So technically, you can use the MiniPay data, but only 50% of the data. So due to security reasons, like as I showed on the website as well, it's privacy first protocol. So you can only do one kind of checking. So only you can see phone number to address, but not the address to phone number. So if you have someone's phone number, you can see what the address of this phone number. But if you have an address, you cannot see the phone number behind that address, because it's a security reason. Only MiniPay has the access to check that. But a normal person can only check who this phone number belongs to, like what's the address of, attached to that phone number. Not just phone number, but anything, yes. It's a one-way street for everyone else, but MiniPay can check both. So by MiniPay, I mean issuer. Like in your website, if you have created an issuer private key, technically you can do both. Like you can check who the phone number belongs to and who the address belongs to, but everyone else can only do one way. Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. So in case you don't have your wallet connected yet to your phone number or to your Twitter account or to your GitHub, could I send something to like a social identifier, and once they connect and send them a link, and once they connect, they receive it?
So you can technically do it. You have to create your own escrow account, and this is what I guess MiniPay does with cash links. But it's not publicly available, I think. But you can create your own feature like this, where you have to set up an escrow account, where you send in the money in that escrow account, and once the other user did their attestation, they can claim it.
Okay, but that would be a whole project, or maybe bigger.
Yeah, that will be a project.
Okay. Then we have another question from the chat. But you also put something in Discord, so I will first read this question and the one from Discord. Sam's question is, if we use identity on Celo, the wallet account is connected to mobile number without Celo Composer attestation, right?
So I didn't understand what is Celo Composer attestation. So Celo Composer in itself is just a starter project.
I think he is talking about the attestation that you were talking about earlier, right? That you create.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I didn't get the question. Sorry. Can you elaborate?
Sam, can you try to reformulate the question? It's out. Maybe if you pull up the graphic that you designed, I think that maybe helps Soham to reformulate. So the attestation is created at one point. Maybe you can go through that step, and it will help Soham understand.
Yep. So once your backend is verified that the identifier and the address actually indeed belongs to the user, what you do is you take the address and the identifier, you send it to the SocialConnect servers, and you pay a small fees in CUSD. That's why I make sure that your address should have CUSD in your account, the issuer address, and you pay the server, and the server will return you with this obfuscated ID. And you can use this obfuscated ID now. Go to the blockchain, contact this federated attestation smart contract, and pay a little bit gas fees, and do the registration, revoke, or lockup. So make sure that you don't have to manually go to the server or federated attestation in your code. We have a @celo/identity package or a tool that you can use to connect directly. Like you don't have to make an API call to the server or anything. Like we have made helper functions. It can be, you can see that code inside the API, SocialConnect, and lookup. If you see, everything you can find here. We have this SocialConnect issuer class, and this has majority of the code on how you use this package's Celo identity. Celo identity basically is the wrapper around the whole SocialConnect.
I think Sam reformulated the question. If the number is already connected to a wallet, do we need to create a new attestation? So if we build this for a phone number, like if you build this into your app that is deployed inside of MiniPay, and your phone number is already connected to your wallet address, we don't need to create the attestation anymore, or do we have to create it for each application? So like if I build my own app inside of MiniPay, do I still have to create this because I don't have access to MiniPay's database, right? So I have to create my own database where I map phone numbers to addresses. So for each application, we need to create like this own. A
little bit change in wording. So not for each application, but for each issuer. So each issuer can have multiple apps, but one issuer can do mapping for one address.
Yeah. Okay.
So if the issuer private key changes, then you have to do the attestation again. But if you keep the same private keys that I just showed you, then that attestation will last across, because that happens on chain. So it will be same for all the applications.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Peter, that is hilarious. I remember, I think you tried to add the phone number in the last hackathon project, right? So yeah, go through the docs and don't get stuck forever. And then Soham sent his app idea in the Discord chat. Which one is a good idea for a hackathon? Let me just put it in here. So we can pin it and all read it. Okay, so it's two questions. That is too much. Okay, so which one is a good idea for a hackathon? Send and receive money via phone number, request for money via chat, and chat that displays all transactions and messages. Audio notification when money is received, using QR code to receive money. Okay, these are all a lot of ideas. QR is linked to mobile number, which is linked to wallet. Optional, invite others to use this via app, via SMS, email, WhatsApp. Share proof of payment, image with transaction details. Split bills in group chat. Second is remittance, reimbursement, salary app. Send money on fixed intervals automatically, manually ask for receipt from users and send money. Expense food and accommodation reimbursement, travel reimbursement. Payment gateway, pay using Celo or MiniPay. Okay.
Yep, I got it. So I can give an answer on this.
Yeah.
So the first idea, technically, it is MiniPay. Like the idea of sending money and receiving, and then in chats you can send everything. Is eventually will be done by MiniPay. So it doesn't make sense to do everything. It's kind of a payments app. So all kind of transaction like scanning a QR code, sending to a phone number is by default a feature of MiniPay. The second idea, the remittance app or salary app, is a good idea where you can create a portal where people can be your employee, people can log in using their phone number, and at an interval they receive the payments. That's a good idea. And I like the idea of payment SDKs for React Native, Flutter, because right now there is no SDK feature. So it could be a good idea. Like WordPress, Shopify, yeah. And the one idea that we have been seeing a lot is expense tracker, because eventually MiniPay will be used in Africa to pay off all their expenses. So it does make sense to have a expense tracker, or travel cost, expenses, everything.
Yeah, I think one of the things is like having a chat. Does MiniPay already have a chat? I think, for example, for this hackathon, I would also kind of like, if you imagine, because the topic of this hackathon is kind of e-commerce, or like developing. Wait, I will hide this so we can see your face. So for this hackathon, it's like kind of focused on e-commerce, but also like it could be like features that could be implemented in many applications, like customer chat, customer incentivization, or like also operations like bills payment, accounting, like a lot of like also operations or backends. So the question, like, what could be the use of like, yeah, I think for that a chat makes sense. I think small businesses use a lot of chat for kind of like making their deals and like requesting payments through a chat. I think we saw some great projects there. I think for that it's also like interesting.
So yeah, one idea could be that if someone does a payment and it does involves invoices, then the payment can be done via MiniPay, but there could be a chat feature where people can attach PDFs or pictures to make sure, like, and this has to be happening on their own. Like if you are developing this project, then it has to happen on your smart contract or your backend. MiniPay does not provide this feature where you can attach. The only thing you can attach is a message with a payment on MiniPay, but you cannot attach PDFs or images.
And yeah, and like also especially like for sending invoices, who can like people can just put, like, because they obviously don't know their wallet address, or like they could find it out, but like most Web2 users don't know what their wallet address is. So especially for like invoice payments, that could be like very interesting. Or like or just like even like in e-commerce has like some kind of salary payments in their packet for like whatever they like. I mean, go broad. This is like the topic, but like of course we don't want you to be restricted by the hackathon topic. We want you to build for MiniPay. We want you to build useful applications that like for everyday use. So I like your ideas. What I would just say, and I think it's great that you already come up with so many. So one of the things that I would always advise is like stay small, start small. and then grow bigger. Like stay with one idea. Decide for one. We will have another team building workshop, an ideation workshop on Friday. So we will have 5 slots. So if you're interested in taking one of these, please reach out. We will share a form one day tomorrow for everybody who wants to present their ideas. So make sure you fill that out and make sure you prepare your idea ready to be presented. Yeah, but thank you so much for already sharing this. I think these are all the questions. Please, if you have a question, go now, or just feel free to drop that into the Discord or also our Telegram. And make sure that you sign up for the hackathon. Let me just go back to our slides because find all our developer resources, of course, as always, in our docs. You can also find them on the hackathon page. They are linked there. You will also receive an email after this workshop with all the resources. And again, make sure to get your test tokens from the faucet. Watch the video from yesterday about Celo MiniPay, how to use Celo Composer, how to build for MiniPay, what MiniPay is. In case you don't have MiniPay installed yet, please sign up for the hackathon. You will receive the quest form that guides you through preparing for the hackathon, and also instruction how to reach out to receive a cash link that will help you set up MiniPay with some initial fundings. And again, cash links, I have them. Let me know. Sign up for the hackathon to find out how to get them. And join us on Telegram. And one of the things that I will also tell you, because this is part of the quest, you can get the POAP for this workshop because it's a quest, it's a treasure hunt, and you have to attend the workshops to find out. And it's also not on the slide, so you have to listen. You can get the POAPs tomorrow between 8 and 10 a.m. UTC. 8 and 10 a.m. UTC. You can claim the POAPs on the page that you will find in the quest form. You have to go at that time to the page and claim the POAP. And it will give you points, and it will give you a higher amount of the prize pool. And yes, of course, let me just get the... can you, sorry. You can find that, again, the link to the Telegram group. It's just built with Celo. You can find it. It's a public group. I don't want to put it in the chat because I think then we will have a lot of people joining. But you can just join, put build with Celo in Telegram, and you will find it. Or you can sign up for the hackathon, and you will also receive the link to the Telegram group when signing up. And just like the quest, it's right now a prize pool of 500 CUSD distributed by who is fastest and get the highest points. So be quick and collect as many POAPs as you can and complete all the tasks. And here's the QR code again to sign up for the hackathon. And again, the link, I will share it. A cash link is a cash link from MiniPay that will, if I send the link to you, it will automatically guide you to the right place to install MiniPay and to and you will receive some initial funds. So you can start already like playing some games and interacting with some applications. And you can start claiming your daily rewards on MiniPay, which is very cool. So check out all the apps on MiniPay and sign up for the hackathon to claim the cash links and find out where you can claim them. But yeah, in case you don't have MiniPay yet, do that now. And I think that's it from me. Thank you so much. Here's the QR code for the presentation. You'll also receive a link to the presentation when you have signed up for this event in the email after the event, and the link to join Discord. Find the Build with Celo channels. If you haven't joined yet, choose the I want to develop and build applications. And then you will find all the developer channels, and then you can find the Build with Celo channels. Put them, pin them as your favorite so you don't miss any updates. And I will see you on Friday for the hackathon kickoff and for the team building and ideation workshop afterwards. Thank you, all so much for joining us today and for your wonderful workshop. Thank you, everyone, for joining. See you very soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.